small human being in my lap, and I would keep on shaking my legs so that he doesn't cry. And that was the time I was doing my operations research paper. I have a good memory. I don't forget things very
I
easily.
can make that out. You are
So,
remembering the dates, everything. Did not remember 12th
yeah.
February, but you remembered that. Hi everyone, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Mata Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel Merchant Navy Decoded. Today I've got a very special guest with me, that is Jagmeet Makkar sir. I have met sir several times, and he's one of the most humble people to reach out to, always very humble. But when we thought of making this video, I told sir ki sir aap mujhe please bhejiye, send me detail on your career graph so that I can know more about you and I can ask you the right questions. And believe me guys, when I was reading his, say, a biography journal such, I had literally goosebumps on my hands and on my arms, just because what all he has achieved. He was a President's Gold Medal, IES All India Rank 5 Indian Engineering Services mein, joined railways, left that, then joined again back shipping, became a chief engineer, then became a technical superintendent, then became a fleet manager, then became a general manager, got into commercial shipping. Today is running his own venture. He is the head of Indian charters and shipbrokers in Hong Kong, doing so many things in commercial shipping. So, guys, first of all, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for coming out here, sir, and giving me this huge respect. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Praneeth. I must say, first of all, that the work that you're doing is awesome. That's amazing. I recall on the 12th of February last year, when we were in DMET Kolkata, and our senior, Shri Ravi Mehrotra ji, was speaking. And then he said, anybody has got any question? And 2-3 questions that you came up with was amazing. Like, to have that confidence and to be able to stand there and ask those questions. And they were all very valid and very wonderful questions. And Raviji replied to them for the benefit of not only those who were present there, but also for those people who would listen to it later. Thank you so much. And I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
So let's start from the very beginning. So 1981, you passed out from the college, MERI Kolkata, that time known as DMET. You were the President Gold Medal winner as well. Sir, I have seen your journey throughout from the very beginning. And you have been IES All India Rank 5. So were you a very studious kind of a person who was very good with just studies throughout the college, or you were also into sports or extracurricular activities?
That's a lovely question. Why don't we start with 1977?
Yes, sir.
So that was the time, 13th of October, 1977. So that was the time was my, my love started with the Merchant Navy, and I got into DMET. Those 4 years, how they just flew away, I have no idea how they passed. And, at the end of the 4 years, we normally have a souvenir where you write about each and every batchmate. So I recall 1 or 2 lines which were written in my part on my page, that ye to padaku hai. He would be sitting and studying all the time. And the short breaks between studies were all filled with the old Hindi music. So that is what was written there. Yes, I don't want to say that apne aap hi sab ho gaya without my working hard. As far as my knowledge is concerned, or my what we call desire to learn is concerned, I don't know. But one thing I knew for sure, that I was always desirous to learn. I always felt we need to make time for ourselves to learn. Apne aap kuch nahi aayega. On its own, nothing is going to come. And that's how in 1981, when I was told that I'm getting PGM, I was quite shocked. I didn't expect that, because I was the topper. Okay, that's fine. So Narottam Morarji, I was expecting, and that was a record-breaking percentage that I had received. Then there was something called Institute of Naval Architecture, East Zone Gold Medal. I picked up that. Then there were a number of prizes that I picked up. And my brother he came to attend the ceremony. he says, "Hey, bhai, sit down, don't get up again." And again, my name would be called to take the prize. It doesn't mean that everybody else didn't do well. My batch was one of the most intelligent batches. Most of us came from either IITs or engineering colleges or medical colleges. It used to be different those days. And whatever I could do in DMET, I owe it to my batchmates. Many of them will get together, sit in my room, or we'll sit somewhere and we'll learn together, study together. So it was an amazing batch. Our juniors used to call us funny. It's a very funny batch. And not only studies, this batch actually, we got into the first division matches with Mohan Bagan, East Bengal. Then some of our creative guys like Abhijit Banerjee and Pritish Banerjee, Sanjay Dikshit, all these guys in Ajay Ragde for the quiz contest and all that. So this batch did very well. This was an amazing batch. We never took any pangas. We never beat up anyone. There were no negative marks. Koi dhabba nahi tha kala. There was no black mark on this batch. We had the fantastic gentlemen in my batch like Vipin Sachdeva and Homiyar Poonawala. Yeah. Then Suresh Kamath. We had wonderful people in my batch. I recall all these people with a lot of fond memories.
So when you're talking about all your batchmates, I remember when we were same 12th February when you met, you talked about these lovely get-togethers that you keep doing and reunions happening where 52 of your batchmates met together. And if some of your batchmates were not there, their families flew all the way from Australia, Dubai, if as far as I remember very distinctly, and they had come to meet all you guys. So that was a very, very, sir, mere dil pe chhu gayi thi sir wo baat. And that was the time I decided that we will try to do a reunion at our batch every year. And since that year, sir, it has been 2 years and we have done it for 2 continuous years as of now. And this time when we had it, sir, 64 of our batchmates came to the reunion, sir. It is one of the highest gathering happened till date, sir. 64.
Yeah. It's beautiful, isn't it? And there's something for my batch. The February to 6th February was something very unique last year. This was before I met you on the 12th of February in Kolkata. Unfortunately, we lost few of our batchmates. But then we decided that we would invite their wives. And they came. They were very graceful. They joined us. And the sort of close feeling everybody had was amazing. Each one of them spoke for 3-4 minutes. They remembered their husband. And most of us, we had, our eyes were wet, but we were happy at the same time that, the Pritish, Parthasarthi Chatterjee's wife would be there. Then we had Gladwin Gomes' wife was there. Ajay Ragde's wife was there. I think this is a great, wonderful feeling that you do get. So I must mention the name of the person who was behind the entire and how he has done it. There's a guy called Louis Vyas. He's one of my batchmates. And he, along with Manoj Srivastav and Rajiv Mehrotra. So these are the people, the organizational skills, and they to the last detail. And we guys were like guests, okay, you paid money, fine, but you fly from Hong Kong and you land there and you are taken care of as if you are the guest and they are the host, whereas we were all supposed to be the hosts. Yeah.
So 1981. So let's get back to the old days. Thanks for even inspiring me, my whole batchmates, with your journey of your batchmates and the few who have gone, sir, that we have been able to do that for 2 consecutive years. And for the next year is also planned, sir. So somewhere down the line, the credit goes to you as well. Let's come back, sir. 1981, you passed out from the college. 6 years you sailed, sir. How was that sailing experience? And did you ever felt, यार मैं तो पढ़ाई लिखाई में बहुत अच्छा हूं, मैं ये क्या काम कर रहा हूं, तेल हाथ? How was your journey that way?
That's a lovely question. I never felt like that. even cleaning the floor plates or tracing the pipes or going into the bilges, none of the time or never ever this thought came in my mind, what am I doing? I should be there or I should be there. Whatever I was doing, I was happy doing it. I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. I joined Scindia Steam Navigation. I was one of the blue-eyed boys. I don't know. Thanks to my professors or the director, I joined Volchan, and such a lovely ship. And my batchmate was there. Niranjan Bangera was there with me on the ship. So that itself was very positive, very helpful. And we used to have a lovely time. 19 months I spent on the ship, 19. Not bad.
Very.
Yeah.
Sir, I saw that when I read it twice. Is it 19 or 9? With a very small break of
Yeah.
20 days, if I very vividly remember.
Yeah, 19 months. And then when I came down for my second exams, after that, the markets were not so good. Scindia wasn't doing very well. 3 of the ships were laid up in Trincomalee. So there was just one second officer, myself, and one cook. So 3 of us looking after 3 ships. But that itself was such a learning experience for me, and Trincomalee during those days, what was the terrorist situation there. The political situation wasn't good. But we were all right. We used to sight them. Sometimes someone will come on board with their guns, but that's okay. I mean, we are harmless people, right? And I look so cute, like when I was young, I was very, very cute. So we never had any issue or any problem. Sometimes cooked for them, sometimes gave them a couple of drinks. So it was all right. So those 3 ships, looking after each one of them, looking at the machinery, the mothballed, trying out the critical machinery, that was a different ball game altogether. So that was my first brush with the realities of the cruel economic world, and then for me, it was just an experience on board the ship. Then I started thinking more about the ship owners, the people who are the stakeholders who invest money, and how these changes in the market cycles, they affect them. That is, and that is where my mind was moving already into more into commercial direction. Yeah.
Okay. So 1987, you decided to give Indian Engineering Services exams. Why?
Yeah, that's a good. Then I also got married. Got married to a beautiful, wonderful doctor who was doing her MBBS. She had finished MBBS, and my son was born in 1987. So we were thinking, like, now what to do if I go back sailing or something which is going to be good. So let's do something different. Then a very close friend of mine who is responsible for me being in shipping, he always talks about this incident, so I must stay talking about it. And if you know Mr. Sanjay Bhatia, he is the retired chairman of the Mumbai Port Trust. So we were together in the college and we used to share the same scooter, HRH 101, to go to the university, Punjab Engineering College rather. And one day he just came and he says, Sardar, he used to call me Sardar. Those days I used to have my pagdi and everything. Just fill up this form. I said, what is that about? Just fill it up. It's Merchant Navy. I said, what is Merchant Navy? I had no clue what is Merchant Navy. But I filled up the form. I had that much love and respect for my dear friend. So I did that. After 1 month, he says, Sardar, kal exam. I said, which exam? He said, the form that you filled, that exam. I said, okay, I haven't prepared. Neither have I, he said. Wrote the exams, we did quite well, and then we were invited for interview to Mumbai. I said, I don't want to go. I have no clue about this. I want to do my mechanical engineering, then do my management from IIM and do, that's like the life I'm looking for. He literally forced me, and his dad was the education secretary, Haryana that time. So Bhatia uncle, Shri S.P. Bhatia uncle came home and he convinced my father. So we went to Bombay and did the interview and everything. Everything was done. So both of us joined DMET Calcutta. So I'm 2429 and he's 2460. After 5 months, he had some problem with his ankle, so he left. Now, bringing me from Chandigarh, I had no clue about Merchant Navy. The guy brings me here and then he goes back. Crazy. And before that, he did something funny. He says, come with me to the auditorium. And those days, we used to have these big boards with names of PGM and Narottam Morarji written there. He said, take Sardar. I wanted to get the PGM and I wanted you to get the Morarji. And now I have to leave. So you better bring both of them home. So that was something very crazy that he said, and that's what happened. So in 1987, then he suggested, okay, you missed the IES, no problem. Do your engineering services and your wife can do combined medical services. And then both of you will be class 1 gazette officer and live happily ever after, which was not to be because I could not really enjoy the working in the government department. So it was a bit different. We are all different. Yeah. Because this is your audience would be very happy to hear that whenever a drop of sweat used to fall from my face onto my generator, I used to get a feeling $1 is earned. Paisa kamaya. So, but that is not a feeling while I was there. Though I did quite well in Indian Railways, I was well liked probationer there and picked up almost all the prizes that they had. And then I resigned and I went back. Back to see, they said, tanki ka pani ek baar pee liya.
Sir, All India Rank 5.
Was a tanki ka pani.
Sir, All India Rank 5 in just a few months of hard work. IES. Sir, I have my junior batchmates, junior college. I have my junior batch, that was 2009 pass out batch. They had rank of All India Rank 1, 4, 8, 16 coming. Before that, I had never heard of anyone getting IES Rank 5. I did not know. And you got IES Rank 5 in the year 1987. So, and with a few months of hard work, how was that possible? Were you surprised? Or again, because you were very studious, or you would love to hear that way, it was the result of that all cumulative effects?
I won't be ashamed of saying that I was focused, I was studious, and God has been very kind. I have a good memory. I don't forget things very easily.
I can make that out. You are remembering the dates, everything. I did not remember 12th February, but you remembered that.
Yeah. So I don't forget things very easily with God's grace. God has been very kind. And that time my child was also young, very young. He was just few days and few months. And my wife had to go to do her internship, house job, actually, not internship. So this small chambuk, like small human being in my lap, and I would keep on shaking my legs so that he doesn't cry. And that was the time I was doing my operations research paper. Yeah, I was studying and working hard. Operations research is something which we had not done before, but now I use it. And it was that studies which I use it quite a lot when I'm teaching managing dry docks and managing special surveys. You must have heard of critical path method and PERT and project crashing and all that networking.
Sir, my knowledge is zero.
So all that is still there with me. I just keep on updating it over a period of time. So it's just that, work hard is the only solution. If we think that we are born intelligent, very lucky are the people who can say that. I was not one. I was the one who was always there to pray to God, please give me the strength and help me study and work hard. And that's what I did. And so God has been
red tape, bureaucracy, slow decision making was something which made you unhappy while your stint was in railways was going on at IES, and you left. And you joined back shipping with Great Eastern.
No, I don't think so. I mean, there I would like to correct that. I might feel that it was red tape, but because maybe I didn't understand the process well. But few things, good things also I would like to say when I was in railways. It was an amazing, intensive learning curve. You see, I started with my foundation course in Railway Staff College, Baroda. And then I think during that 1 year, traveled almost everywhere. Chitranjan Locomotive Works, Diesel Locomotive Works in Varanasi, Diesel Component Works in Patiala, DCW I've already mentioned. Then CLW, Chitranjan Locomotive, I think. The one I want to say, ICF Perambur. So that was my first one when I went there. So, and Kaufmau. You're close to Delhi. So under the Tilak Bridge, there is Kaufmau. Yeah. Then my experience in the parliament, in the Lok Sabha, and some of the lectures I attended where Mr. George Fernandez, he was the teacher and he was telling us about the procedures in the parliament. So I learned a lot. I still remember 1893 Railway Capital Budgeting Act. I used to wonder that why we have to follow 1893 Act, whereas Britain, who left it behind, they've already changed it. But I'm happy the present government is working on changing a lot of things, especially these 3 new laws, which I'm so proud of what is happening today, and I'm so delighted. And I'll tell you later that I'm closely involved in some of the things with the ministry, and I'm so delighted to be part of that.
So then you joined back shipping as a second engineer. Within a span of 2 years, you were a chief engineer, and then you became a fleet superintendent. So now, you became a technical superintendent. So why did you switch gears again? So you had come back to sailing and now again quit sailing and joining shore.
Yeah, sailing. See, what I felt that sailing is like the steps you take. These are the ladders, slowly and slowly you go up. But you need to broaden your horizon. If I think about what I do as a chief engineer, if I compare that with what a superintendent does or a technical manager, and similarly, if you go on right till the CEO or the board of directors, ultimately it is the bottom line. But the perspective keeps on changing, right? So even though I was chief engineer on the ship, I was a responsible chief engineer. I always felt that I'm contributing to the bottom line of my organization. But then the thought would come, why one ship? Why can't I contribute to more than one ship?
Always.
And in order to do that, I have to be a person ashore. Yeah. So yeah. So can I add something here, which is something quite interesting which had happened. So I was on a ship called Darya Kamal, and the ship was in. This is the transition I'm talking about from shore to ship, ship to shore.
Right, sir.
So I was a chief engineer, and Mr. Vishal Khurana, who is presently the CEO of Chelaram Shipping. So Vishal, he was my boss. In those days, it was like KC Maritime and then Chelaram Shipping Limited, Hong Kong, not Hong Kong Limited. He came on board and he says, would you like to join the office as the superintendent? I had to literally try to keep my face straight because I was so delighted. I said, wow, ho gaya. Yeah. I said, yes, sir, sure. It would be my pleasure. And I assure you, I'll work very hard. Oh, we know you're going to work very hard. If you don't, we'll make sure that you will, you will work very hard.
This was awesome.
But he says, like, what happens? We take you away, and is your second engineer capable enough to take over? I said, you can call him and ask him. And I'll be delighted if Pramil Agarwal listens to your video today. So Pramil was my second, and he came, and Mr. Khurana asked him, so are you ready to take over? He says, sir, I am the chief engineer. Bada Saab is the second engineer. He says, what do you mean by that? He says, we have divided in that week, few days, he works as second engineer and he makes me look after everything as the chief engineer while he is working as second engineer. And the same thing we have applied to second to third, third to fourth.
Awesome.
The idea that he was telling Mr. Khurana, idea that Bada Saab gave was that we must be sure that our juniors, they learn our job before we leave the ship. So he says, yeah, in short, I'm absolutely ready to take over as chief engineer. And Bakul Vaidya, who is my third, is capable enough to take over as. So you only have to send one fourth engineer.
Wow.
So we are-
Amazing strategy, sir. Amazing technique. Great.
That was the thought process in my mind, and I always believed in it, that you don't try to hold on to the knowledge, you don't try to be selfish and think knowledge is power, so you just hold on to that power. No, unless you make your people grow, you will not grow. And there is some value that we have to add to everyone who is in our team. Yeah.
Great, great. I like this strategy, sir. Unless until there is a lazy chief engineer like me, this works wonders because first of all, as a chief engineer, sometimes you get restricted. You do not know from where to start the generator, which valve to close. But if you're working second
Yeah.
engineer, even for 2 days, you will know what all is happening in the engine room, maybe deeply rooted. Second thing is you're preparing your bottom line. What if something happens to you or something happens second year, third engineer is ready to do his job. So everybody knows each other's job, which makes the job easy and convenient on the ship as well. A great strategy, but it needs a hell lot of determination and hard work to make it work well on board ship. So, sir, having said that, this is how you became a technical superintendent. How was your stint as a technical superintendent for a few years?
Yeah, when I joined office, when Mr. Khurana took me in the same flight, same car, so I don't know why he did that. Maybe he was afraid I might run away somewhere. Anyway, he took me to Hong Kong, and from Hong Kong, then I was posted in Korea. So we were building new ships. These were Panamax bulk carriers, 74,000 tonners. So Samsung Heavy in Koje Island. So with my family, I shifted there. And it was a great experience. I mean, straight from the ship to the new building yard as the machinery supervisor. Now, again, I would like to share one thing over here is whatever work which you are supposed to do, that of course you must do. But there are other things which are going on, right? Like I'm doing the machinery supervision, but then there is hull supervision. Yeah. Electrical part is going on. Then your painting is there, blasting, painting. There's so many things. And each one of them is going to be important for me when I actually become ship manager. When I go and inspect the ship, there it is no more an engine room or machinery. When I'm a superintendent, I'm in charge or responsible for everything, whether it is navigation equipment or communication of the ship or the cargo hold and the corrosion and the anodic area, cathodic area, everything. So unless I have a good understanding of it, there is no way I'm going to be a good superintendent or a vessel manager. So I had one gentleman there called Mr. Joglekar, Aditya Joglekar. I mean, this is my way of,
The
this
memory
is
is
my
killing
way
me,
of,
sir. I
yeah.
forget names so soon. I forget dates so soon, and you remember each and every name distinctly and along with the dates.
There is a reason for it. These are the people to whom I owe a lot. I owe a lot. Yeah. So engineering part, Mr. Vijay Bhalla, he was a project manager. So he was absolutely fantastic boss. And he is someone who taught me how to manage the teams, how to do the communication with the shipyard. It's all about relationships and communication. Then with Aditya, it used to be like, I'll go to him and he was a tough taskmaster. Nothing comes easy with him. So I say, okay, so you want to do hull supervision? I said, yes. So what time you go to sleep? I said, 10. from tomorrow, you're going to sleep at 2 o'clock, not before that. Okay. And you'll be here in the office with me, in the site office. So that was the time, like the next day's blocks, all the blocks, ship is built in blocks. So all the blocks which are going to be inspected, he would explain the entire structure to me. How many flat bars, how many brackets, so what is the scallop, what is the diameter there, radius there, and why if it is less, there'll be cracks over there, which areas you must check. So with the finger, all that thing, you have to check the welding. And then when I started in the morning going with him, it was like two workshops are moving, he and me, because we had everything. We had the vernier caliper, we had the scraper with us, and torch, and almost hammer, everything was there. And small diary with all those drawings. All those big blocks, we would convert them into small, small diagrams and write down the number of what all is there. And that is what was beautiful. And for me, every moment I felt it was a eureka, something new I have learned. And that would give me that very strong feeling that, yes, I learned something today. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
and sir, I'm very glad to meet you as in person, talking to you right now, and see that still that hunger I can see in you to learn. It is an amazing quality to have and to be continuously having for so many years. मतलब कितना कुछ होगा आपके पास to deliver, sir. That is what I'm thinking about. Having said that, sir, so what I could make out from this part was, कि sir, even though you were machinery in charge, but you were also taking care of the hull and the whole ship part, which would definitely make you an amazing technical superintendent. That's for sure. And that's what happened. And that was the reason that very soon you became a fleet manager, now handling superintendents under you. Am I right, sir?
I don't know whether I became a good one or not. That only Mr. S.K. Gupta and Mr. Khurana can tell. So I don't know. But yeah, they did promote me, and I continued to learn. Yeah. That
Okay.
is where ICS also came in.
Yes, this is
You
where
see, when this thing was happening, I was learning, became like,
yes,
and
sir,
then
please
when I
continue.
came to this part as ship manager, technical manager, then I was also looking at, some of my commercial guys working. There used to be a gentleman called CP Wong. So CP Wong was like five things in one. He's a Chinese gentleman from Calcutta, so he could speak Bengali, he could speak Hindi, all those words, yeah. In Punjab, we use those words. So all those words he could speak. Then Bengali, he could speak Mandarin, Cantonese, and he was like 6 feet 4 inches tall, 6 foot 3 inches tall, very big built, and very willing teacher to teach. So that was very good. Then I also had Michael with me, who was head of the commercial chartering part. So learned a lot from him. Then the guy who was the big boss in charge was Mr. Reggie Sequeira. So it was quite interesting. So I want to get into chartering, but how to do? I cannot go and being technical manager, that feeling comes, yeah, I'm technical manager. Now, how I can go to them and show my absolute zero knowledge? That ego comes in. So that ego is something which creates most of the problem. And I recall reading in Reader's Digest is there is a very thin line between I know and I don't. Yeah. Because the moment you say I don't know, there'll be people willing to teach you because you are accepting you don't know. The moment you say I know, you won't learn. So that line will not be crossed. So I said, it's okay. I don't know. I don't know. I want to learn, right? I need to learn. Then Michael Bentley suggested that why don't you write your ICS exams? So I started preparing for my ICS exams. So 1998, I wanted to write. I couldn't write because of some issue with a ship during those exam days. Then 99, I wrote my papers. And I did all 6 exams in one shot. So I didn't want to waste time because maybe I won't get holidays, during that exam period. So I did all 6 in one shot, and I picked up a couple of awards also.
Okay. Sir, we have to stay over here. We can't move forward. So the first thing is what I could make out from now is, ki, sir, your uncertainable uh, growth to learn or hunger to learn has first of all made you a great technical superintendent, then a fleet manager, and then there also you were not ready to leave it. You wanted to get into the commercial aspects, which definitely helped you become a GM as well of the company. So having said that, so now you gave your Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers exams, you cleared all 6 of them in first shot, and you are here as a fleet manager handling technical superintendents with expert technical knowledge into the commercial shipping. The only question to for me to you right now is, did you wanted to get into commercial shipping because there was more scope into it to grow further, to learn further, to earn further? It was just कि मुझे भूख है, I want to do it. Because many people do it for the scope. They say, अरे इसमें
Yes, sir.
scope होता है.
I never thought it like this. You are an amazing interviewer. So yeah, if I reconstruct in my mind what was it that was driving me, I wanted to contribute more. I wanted to do more for my organization, for my firm. It was always that feeling that, okay, I am an engineer, I know engineering. It's not that I'm going to leave uh, engineering and doing only commercial. It was never supposed to be like this. So I went to my boss and I said, I would like to. He said, no problem. So morning time, you can finish off your technical, and afternoon, you can do your commercial because Baltic Exchange opens at 4 o'clock Hong Kong time. So, okay, but you'll get one salary. All right. Okay, fine. So when I went in the afternoon, I started working in commercial. So same Michael Bentley, he says, oh, I can divide the number of ships between you and me. You do the chartering of this. As a chartering, I don't know C of the chartering. I've done the theoretical exams and I want to learn. So I started in commercial department, the work of the operations executive. Okay, the junior most. So when you are an operations executive, you then the sending the voyage instructions to the master, looking at the stowage plan, appointing the agents, arranging the bunkers. So you learn all that. So once you learn, gradually you go up. If we try and jump and start flying without proper wings, or the wings are wet, you'll fall down. So I didn't want that situation. My idea was to add value, not create problems for rest of my colleagues. So still I managed to create problems. Yeah, which will happen. We will all make mistakes. We will all make mistakes. But one thing which I always say, I used to say to my juniors and also say to my students and participants today, mistakes will happen. You may do whatever you want. Disputes will happen. Mistakes will happen. Just shout when a mistake happens. When anything happens, shout. Let others know. Don't push it under the carpet. If you have messed up, say you have messed up. If you have fixed a ship which is not suitable to call Aqaba in Jordan to carry rock phosphate because the air draft restriction is there, tell the operations, boss, I had no other ship. I had only this ship. You may have to load ballast into hole number 2 and 6 to bring the ship down so that the loader can come. So you have to tell. Don't create problem at the last moment for others. I think if all of us follow this principle that we are working as a team and things do go wrong, otherwise we won't be required, right? If everything was fine, we won't be required. And we want things to go wrong so that we will still have our jobs. So, but when the problems do happen, we must tell, I messed it up. I'm not using any other word. I messed it up. Okay. Now, please help me. Let's try and find a solution.
Okay. So can you name one such problem which, since you have an amazing memory, where you really messed it up big time? You are a fleet superintendent and were you not the crazy guy in the office? People working below you, they must be thinking, yeah, this is our boss. He is the fleet manager handling us 25 ships, 20 ships, or 16 ships. And now at 4 p.m., the Baltic Exchange is opening. Now he's getting into commercial shipping, is learning out there. So, or you were an amazing, inspiring personality in the office, telling others, get in charge of your life, start working hard. This is not the end. Let's get into commercial shipping and learn something new.
Yeah. So if I've got your question right, yeah, they were always encouraging. My people were quite encouraging, and I was blessed to have fantastic people. So the purchasing guy is William Chan, the guy who was also in technical, Francis was there. All
Your
these guys were
junior's
there.
perception about you. What was your junior's if at all you can say, ki our boss is so hardworking. See, when you have an amazing boss who's damn hardworking, it sends the bar such high that normal people will not be able to achieve it. There are two things they can do. Either they can shout about it, yaar, he's just a crazy guy, or they'll get inspired. So, what's your take on that? If at all you can share something.
That's very interesting. Yeah. I don't think I created, recalling it, I created too much of pressure on them. And maybe that I started working in commercial after 4 o'clock was good for them, that I was not watching over them and they were free to learn on their own at times. Then, well, one thing they did find strange was whenever their appraisal was there, year-end appraisal, I would put for their training that they must write ICS exams. They said, sir, but we don't want to do ICS exams.
Yes.
I said, no, you have to do your ICS exams. See, this is what I want to explain to your listeners. Writing ICS exams does not mean that you have to leave what you are doing. You have to move into commercial, or you have to move into insurance, or you have to move into operations or sale and purchase. It's really not needed that if you like your job, you can still do your ICS and continue with the job that you're in. Then you might say that why spend so much time and energy? It is for learning more about what others do. It's learning more about what your teammates, your colleagues in the office do. If I can understand what my chartering guy is selling, he's selling capacity of the ships to carry cargo, right? If I understand his requirements, if I understand what type of cargo hold condition he needs, all right? How long is the charter duration? And I know when the dry docking would be. So I'll be able to work closely. And if I have learned more about insurance, if I have a knowledge about insurance, marine insurance, all right, I'm so delighted, Praneeth, that you have insurance thing for medical and the life insurance. And I would say that add will writing also in that, if you have not. Please add will writing, because that's one thing which I am always very scared that people do not pay attention to their personal risk management. We are all taking care of our company. We are doing so much as risk management. Yeah. But if you ask them, have you written a will? No. Do you have your family's life insurance? No, but company provides. Do you have your health insurance? No, the company provides. Sorry, what happens if you leave the company and the company sacks you and you already have a pre-existing disease? Then you go to an insurance company. It's a big problem, right? It can be a big problem. So as a superintendent or as a technical guy or as a commercial or operations person, if I understand marine insurance, then I have a good understanding of, in case there is a problem, what information is required by my insurance department to be able to file the claim. Number one, very simple way. The other thing is for me to make sure that later on no blame comes on the owner. Everything that I do must be done in a due diligently manner. I need to make sure that everything which is done is in good faith, utmost good faith. So there are some basic principles of insurance. At every level in the organization, people must be aware of it. People must know it, because it's not a technical department's bottom line. It's the entire organization's bottom line. So when I was there as a junior engineer, right up to superintendent and all that, the feeling I used to get that I must take care of technical department's bottom line. My budget and the OPEX, what we call variance analysis, so far it is okay. Everything is okay. Let the commercial go to hell or operations go to hell. Is that the right approach? That's not the right approach. What if technical is doing well, variance analysis is fine, but the company is losing money as a whole, as an organization?
Agreed, sir. Agreed.
Owning a ship is not charity. Owning a ship is something that you have to make money, sustainably make money, not just make money. It has to be sustainable growth, sustainable profit. So for that, it is necessary that people at all levels do understand what others do. Yeah. So let me give you one example. I always look at this as a triangle. Yeah. Now in this triangle, there are small triangles. The effort should be that all those small triangles, their apex, the top point, is in the same direction as the apex of the big triangle. So these small triangles are all different silos, different departments. And the energies, the output should be focused so that final apex of the triangle is something that is making money. If those triangles are falling one here, opposing each other, that doesn't make sense, in my opinion.
Or maybe it will make a smaller triangle. The profits will reduce, you lose money. If I can put it in the other way.
Yeah, if people who want to avoid risk, yeah, for them that is fine. There are two ways to avoid risk: reduce your volume of business, or just get out of the business. Yeah, but I don't think that's why I started with sustainable growth.
Sir, what I can get is to all my technical superintendents, friends out there, my batchmates out there, my seniors, juniors, writing ICS exams will definitely help them have a better approach of the whole shipping industry together. Now, tomorrow your ship has run into an accident or there is an incident happening. As a technical superintendent, you know your people well. You can get all the information. If you tomorrow you can provide it to your insurance department, and your company knows it, that you have saved them a lot of money. Maybe tomorrow you will be the one who will be handpicked for the bigger approach, for the bigger growth. This is how I look at. Sir, I'm a selfish man. I say it all the time. So this is where I realize, when I invest on something, I realize what is there in it for me. So for superintendents or for any guy out there, if they know this whole thing as a whole, if they invest on learning, on their self-growth out here, maybe they'll become proper, definitely great managers tomorrow. And as an engineers, you should never just aim to be a technical superintendent or a fleet manager. You should aim for a bigger thing. And for that, knowing commercial angle is the most important thing, because that is where the money lies. And that is where and business is what we are looking at. Sir, correct me if I'm wrong, or please make any changes you want to.
Yeah, I look at it also, what you're saying is correct. I also look at it in a slightly different way. You may continue to be a fleet manager or technical manager. You may continue to be in ship management. But there'll be a difference between how you are doing your job.
Okay.
If you do the ICS exams, or if you learn through SkillsPlus or any of them, I'm not just trying to promote anything here. So if you're doing all that, so the difference would be in the way you approach things. Yeah. So the example which you took about marine insurance, and there is an accident. So if you have a broader perspective of it, you would immediately know what is the next step, what you need to do. What you need to do if something happens. Do you have the P&I club correspondence number? Do you know whom to contact if something happens? Of course, we got a lot of after the ISM and we have this SCRS and all that. That's perfectly fine. But still, to put something, all the key telephone numbers under the glass on your table, that in case there is something happens, then whom to contact. And to make sure that on your computer, on the phone, there is a particular place where you can immediately approach those numbers. Time is very important. You know that for shipping, time is extremely important. So the correct action and the time, and ICS exams or any of these training, they do help. And you were talking about training and the company. Training is the responsibility of the individual, not of the organization. Organization does it, that's perfectly fine as part of their corporate strategy, or they would like to have a culture in their organization where everybody does well, and then they will keep an eye on you, how you're behaving, how you're performing, the question which you asked, what is there in for me. Somebody is watching, my friend. Somebody is watching you, how you handle things, how you deal with things. Yeah. And the appraisal, which is done once a year, is not the only time you are being appraised. Appraisal is happening every day. How you sit in the meetings, how you respond, how you prepare for your meetings. If a question is asked, do you just you're bluffing about it, or you know the basics, or sometimes maybe you don't know. Do you have the courage to say, sir, I don't know, but I will find out and I will let you know. The biggest thing in life is to say, I don't know. That means the doors are open to learn. If we are just trying to give bullshit, and then what happens is we get away because of that, then it becomes part of our character. It becomes part of our life to simply take the side door and keep escaping. That's not the right thing. We don't grow. We might have a bigger rank, but we don't grow. Growth is in here and in here. How you feel about yourself. When you look in the mirror in the bathroom while shaving, do you feel good about yourself? If you feel good about yourself, that's it. Bank balances don't decide how good you feel about yourself.
So
how your people are with you.
So in the last 15 minutes, we have discussed about this, why ICS exam is important for technical superintendents. And just while talking about this, we slightly deviated from your own journey. So we have to get back to that. We have to get back to that again, sir. So you gave your ICS exams years back, you cleared them in one go, and now you were simultaneously learning about ship chartering, ship brokering, commercial shipping. So what helped you become a GM then?
See, when I moved into commercial, and again, I was working hard to learn, and then I was contributing in the meetings. When the meetings were there, I was able to express my opinions. And there was a time in 2002 when the markets were down, and we thought that markets may go up later. And I did my analysis and presented it to my board, Mr. Shyam Chelaram, and I still remember they were wonderful people. We had Daniel Bradshaw, Mr. M.H. Liang, Mr. D.H. Patel, Mr. Gautam Chelaram. I mean, these are the most wonderful people in the board. So I tried to convince, I expressed my opinion, but it was too naive of me to think that I know it and they don't know it. You see, this is very important point. But that also should not discourage me from putting forward my point. Of course, they know it, but they're also paying me my salary to express my opinion. So I did. I'm happy that they found it good. And we started ordering ships. And that was the time I was made the general manager.
Okay. So when you are a general manager at such a big position, your board is trusting you, why did you decide to move on? Next question.
Good question. That I think even that question I asked myself, and some of my friends who are still in KC, they ask me that the organization where you spend 16 and a half, 17 years, which treated you like a family member, and where no puja, Diwali puja will start without my children singing the bhajan. How can you be so selfish and you just left? It was so difficult that I was moving around with my resignation letter in my pocket for
Sir,
7 days.
sir, I've just lost
And
you.
every time
Sir, I've just
yeah,
lost you 2 seconds. Sir, we'll start again. So, how could your friend said, how could you be so selfish? So now you have to start from here.
yeah, how could you be so selfish that? So, same question I asked myself also, that how could I be so selfish? And it wasn't easy, Praneeth, to resign from an organization where you feel close. If you ask me, even today, I feel very, very close to KC Time and Chelaram Shipping, both these, because that was a relationship from 1990 right up to 2007 beginning I had. So I used to move around with the resignation letter in my pocket, but never had the guts to tell Mr. Shyam Chelaram that I want to leave. But one day I did that. I explained to him that I want to grow, sir. I really want to grow, because we are still a ship owning company, right? So we buy ships, we build ships, and then we give the ships for time charter to other people. In my opinion, after having done ICS, after learning more and more and teaching also, I had started teaching in City University, that is the shipping diploma courses and other things. I started to realize that time charter is only a service that you provide. It is not shipping. Yeah, like if I own a ship and I give it to Praneeth on time charter, I'm just giving a fit for purpose product. That product is fit for purpose. It complies with all regulations, rules. It also, is manned by wonderful, qualified chief engineer and master and everybody else. So fit for purpose. Praneeth is going to use that fit for purpose ship to carry cargo. And he's going to pay me $1 per day. That's it. My job is finished there. So far, I am getting my money. It's okay. And my job is to make sure that ship continues to be a fit for purpose ship. Now, what Praneeth does is he actually does the shipping. He signs a voyage charter with a cargo charterer, and he takes the risk of the market. He's also taking risk of the weather. He's also taking risk of the delays. So Praneeth is using his expertise, knowledge, awareness of the market, reading of the market, proper analysis, everything, and make money. He doesn't own the ship. That's why he is called disponent owner, because he's the time charterer. He does not have his own cargo. So he's taken cargo from the market. He's taken ship from the market, and he carries out the business. That is shipping. That is the real shipping. So I wanted to learn that. And in KC, in my company, we were not doing it. So that took me to a Noble chartering. And there we used to do close to 100 million tons of cargoes.
So you joined Noble Chartering in which year? 2002, sir?
No, I joined Noble Chartering on the 20th of January 2007.
2007.
And I left KC on 19th of January, late in the night, when Shyam gave me a surprise with that big party, farewell party. Yeah. And next day I was in Noble Chartering. It was a Saturday on the 20th of January.
Sir, isn't this same
So
Noble
I didn't have that gardening leave.
Isn't this same Noble
Yeah.
group started by Harry Banga, sir, who is also they have also the shipping company called Fleet Management with them. Am I right, sir?
Yeah. So I would say started, but Mr. Richard Ellman started, and Harry was the vice chair. Is one of the most important people. And Noble was what it was because of Captain Banka. Yeah. It's the same. It's the same company.
It's the same.
And he was my boss. Yes.
It was. So 2007, you started your career with Noble Group and you got into real chartering. What was great about chartering? And did you miss technical ever again?
He made sure that I don't leave technical.
Okay, how was that?
I was owner's representative for all the ships which were being managed by fleet management and later on by Anglo Eastern. So some of our ships were Noble's own ships were managed by them. So from the owner side, you have to have a owner's representative. So every Saturday I would sit with my head of technical of those groups and look at the vessel performance, look at the variance analysis, look at the port state control. So every Saturday in my half pants and my t-shirt, sit there, go through everything. Yep. So, and when you have good third-party ship managers like Fleet Management and Anglo Eastern, you don't have to worry that you have to check each and every small thing. Then why are we employing them, right? So they were wonderful companies, wonderful managers. So all I need to do is just to satisfy myself that everything is fine. Is there anything that they need from us? Is there anything that as an owner we are lacking in providing? And the boss can ask me anytime. So what about this ship? What is the budget? What is the variance analysis? So I have to do both.
Imagining a person who started as a chief engineer, then became a technical superintendent, then became a fleet manager, became a GM, got into chartering on Saturdays, sitting in shorts with fleet managers of the some of the biggest ship management companies together and discussing with them, okay, what is happening in your fleet, what is happening in your fleet, and then making sure that the commercial aspects and the technical aspects are all coming gelled up together. So all in all, sir, whatever you have learned in all these years was being used to full utilization. So now you have not left technical, you're into commercial shipping. What was so great about commercial shipping that you still enjoy and you're so ready to learn more and more, if I can ask you?
The commercial is very, very wide. I must say that. It is not to say that I did not enjoy my technical career. I loved my technical career. And if I say that there is a building, foundation is my technical background. It is extremely important to have your strong technical background because I know the product. What is the product? The ship. So being a ship manager and having been in shipbuilding, seeing a drawing getting changed into a moving ship and having inspected every part of it, starting from the time when the plate comes in and you remove the mill scale and you put zinc silicate and then you cut it into small elements and sub-assemblies, assemblies, blocks, erection, erection, sea trials, all those things. And then you're managing. So you have a clear-cut understanding of what it is, the product. Now, where is the market for this product? Now, that's the most important part of shipping, the market. How does that market get affected? By geopolitics, by geoeconomics, wars between the countries, changing trading patterns, changing demographics, changing eating habits. Yeah. So all those things, they change demand and supply. So that demand and supply and accordingly the freight rates, the charter hires. So commercial shipping is, to me, it is very dear to me because it brings along with it a lot of challenges. And you have to be on the ball all the time. Yeah. So that is what I do feel that commercial has got its own charm. And commercial doesn't only mean chartering. Commercial means ship finance, sale and purchase. Sale and purchase is very important. So one example I should give you about sale and purchase. Can you buy or sell a ship without having technical with you?
No, not possible. You will never know how good the ship is and what should be the cost involved.
Yeah. So is it not good for me to know if I have limited time and I go and inspect the ship, where to go and see something first?
Sir, I guess marine engineers are most well suited. And if you're a technical manager, if you get into this, you'll be the best guy, an asset to the company, any company where you go, if you've done your homework well.
So what I want to say is, let's say I've got only 3 hours. The ship is only there for 3 hours. And my boss likes that ship. He wants me to have a look. Now, within 3 hours, I must know exactly where to go. And if I think that part is good enough, then I might go back to the ship in the next port. Right? So in order to know where to go, I must understand bending moment diagrams. I must understand modulus of area.
God, sir,
I must understand stresses. Yeah, sigma is equal to m by z, or sigma is equal to m into y divided by I.
Oh
So
God.
these are important things. So that is where sale and purchase, the technical input comes in. Because ship is sailing in seawater, right? Seawater doesn't know whether the market is good or market is bad. Seawater is only looking for the areas where there is no paint, so it can go and eat it up. Same thing happens in your topside tanks. So you must know the areas where the stresses are the highest. Distance from neutral axis is the highest. Yeah. And the possibility of corrosion is the highest. So those 3 hours you spend in your frames 15 to 20 on both sides of the midship section and on the shear strake. And if you can go inside the DB and look at that. If that is fine, you're happy. Then you can do the other so-called cosmetic inspection later. So that comes the technical part.
Yes.
Now comes the commercial into it. Should I buy the ship? Should I not buy the ship? Will I earn money? How is the forward market going to be? How do I know? I don't even know next month where the market is going to be. Now I'm buying the ship for running it for next 15 years. I have no clue about 15 years how the market is going to be. So how do I decide? So I'll have to do the analysis, what we call the forecasting. So I'll do my Monte Carlo simulations, and I will do my E-views. I'll do all educated statistical methods that I will use, and then come out with my cycles and look at the base case scenario, low case scenario, high case scenario, and that becomes part of my commercial. Then comes in my treasury and the finance guys. Where will the money come from? Now they're going to look at the cost of capital. They're going to look at your discount rate. Yeah. Then you sit together and do your financial modeling. And then you say, if the present value of the future cash flows, present value of the ship for the future cash flows is more than the cost of the ship, I'll buy it. If the present value is less of the future cash flows than the market, I will sell the ship. I want to keep my other ship also. So all these things, see, everybody is working together. Then comes the operations. Then also comes ship management from the point of view of mortgage, working with flag, working with this, all that. So it's a complete project.
And it's huge. There's so much.
If technical people learn about all this, they will be able to help this larger team to do a great job.
And basically,
that's why I always say that we must continue to learn.
Must continue to learn. So, sir, 2007, you started with Noble Group. Let's get back again to the same part. Sir, it's a quite engaging discussion. where I am learning so much about shipping. And as you said, you must always say, I don't know, sir. I say that all the time. There is so much to shipping that I really need to bring forward to the people, to the industry people, so that they can ensure what they really want to do, especially these young fourth engineers, third officers, second officers, those who got into shipping, but now they're really thinking, or even second engineers, chief engineers, oh, we want to do something different. We do not know. Now, this is the time through these videos, they can make out what they're really good at and what they want to do. And they can take those risks, channelize their energy well, and then see what they really want to do. Having said that, sir, so 2007, you joined Noble Group. Until what time you were there with them? For how many years?
I was there till June 2015.
8 years. And what position did you start with, and what position did you end with, sir? I'm always
Yeah,
interested in ranks.
I started as the executive vice president.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, and I was looking after wearing 3-4 hats, and loved them. It was very interesting. Rather, I would say that I was thrown in the deep end of the pool by my boss, because I came from an organization where I only knew time charter, and technical management. Now suddenly the voyage charter and head of Panamax division, working with overseas colleagues and different offices, and the Saturday wearing shorts, doing the ship management part, and then sale and purchase I was also looking after. Then helping my immediate boss, Captain Raghunath, about the derivatives and hedging part. Yeah. So these were different things, but it was very interesting. And more important than all this was relationship building. Because when you are doing time charter, people generally come to you. But when you want to take cargoes in your book, you have to go to the traders, you have to go to the industrial houses, power plants, steel mills, because if you miners, if you want to take long contracts in your books, because that is what it is all about. And for that, you need to work with brokers. And for that, you have to learn to split your liver into two, one for home, one for work, because till late in the night, you have to be drinking almost every day. So that's part of the job, used to be. But now things are changing. Now, for last 3 years, I have not had a drop of alcohol. I'm very happy. So I think I finished my quota in Noble. So I don't want to drink more.
So 2015, when you quit Noble Group, at that time, what was your profile and what were you busy doing then, sir?
Yeah, in 2013, I was promoted to co-head of chartering and global head of shipping assets. Yeah. Rather, I can say that I was, that's being responsible for the trade book, for the shipping division of a Fortune 500 company those days. Yeah. So it was quite interesting. A lot of learning there. Learning never stopped, Praneeth. Never I felt that I knew enough to do my job better. No. Learning had always been there. If I tell you in 2000, when I became general manager, 2000, not 2002, I didn't know anything about HR management. So I joined Open University and I did my PCBA course, postgraduate certificate in business administration. And this was all on Saturdays. Yeah. And I learned, I loved it. Those books I've still kept with me. Those are lovely books. They're all still highlighted and underlined and a lot of notes in it. So that thing has always been. And in 2002, I went away to IIM Ahmedabad. I did my shipping management course, which was, I think, 1 week course, which Pawan Kapoor and he used to organize. Pawan is my 1 year senior from DMET. So he used to organize that. And then 2005, since I was more involved in marketing, my boss sent me to Ross School of Business, University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. So I did 2 weeks course on strategic marketing management. So learned that. And I think somewhere in between, which is good for everyone, everybody should do, I was made to go through Excel modeling. When we look at our Excel on the computer, there is a lot it can do. So we did a course on Excel modeling for almost a week. Many of people in the company, all the shortcuts and doing the regression analysis and descriptive statistics and all that we learned. Well, that was interesting. So at every stage, at every step, Praneeth, I did feel the need to learn. There was a desire to learn. But also I never stopped reading books, novels, and used to like those, reading those. And also, of course, I've been very close to the one above, so I would do that. So when you say Jai Mata Di, I feel very good.
Right. Sir, 2015, when you stepped down from Noble Group, what was your plan? To spend more time with family and to keep yourself busy?
Yeah. My plan that time, 2015, when I left, was that I'm not going to work for any corporate anymore, that I'll go and study. So I went away to London. I did my master's in energy, trade, and finance. And I was quite, I would say, delighted to have my son with me. So he was my classmate, but doing a different course. So some of the subjects were common, but some of the subjects were different. Yeah, so he was doing shipping, trade, and finance, and I was doing energy, trade, and finance. It's a very famous business school, part of University of London. We call it University of London. It's a CAS business school. Nowadays, it's known as Bayes Business School, BAYES.
Yeah, sir, I've heard their name a lot.
Yeah. So did that. When I came back to Hong Kong, I moved more into teaching, training, learning, arbitration. So I came on the panel of few arbitral institutions. I did courses in mediation, taking assignments as expert. So that's what I've been doing. I thoroughly enjoy it. The reason why I enjoy it is it's like the triangle which I mentioned to you, but here the triangle is different.
Okay.
Here one side is the market. So being a maritime expert, shipping expert, I must be aware of the market. Yeah, I should be reading all the reports and everything. I speak in a lot of conferences. I organize a lot of webinars, seminars. So for that, you need to be up to date. You have to watch the news. You have to read the reports. The second thing is, as an arbitrator, you are in touch with the developing law, the existing law, case law, and how it is changing over a period of time. Because when you write the award, the arbitration award, you need to get the authorities in there. So you have to be up to date. Then market, you are in touch. Case law, you are in touch. I bring it together when I teach. So I try and distill everything and put it in a very simple language and give it a tadka of my practical experience of various case studies and my experience of different times, and then give it to my participants so that all that becomes like memory hooks that they don't forget later. They will remember something or the other and they will do that.
So, sir, I understand today you're into teaching, training, promoting, telling people about chartering, shipbrokering, and you love it. You have spent most of your years into it. Sir, what keeps you busy these days? Like where all you are involved in part of training? What keeps you busy these days?
Interesting. So at the moment, I'm the chair of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers Hong Kong branch. I'm on the controlling council of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers, also the executive council of that. That is one. Then I work closely with Captain Pradeep Chawla as the board of directors on the Global Met. Then I do something very strange, which people find it very strange. I am the only male director on the board of Vista Hong Kong, which is a women's organization, right? So that's what keeps me busy on that part. Then I'm the ambassador for Baltic Expert Witness Association for Hong Kong, the C ambassador for ISWAN. That Chirag asked me to do that, so I'm doing that part. Then there are many other things. I'm on the India Committee of Indian Chambers of Commerce, Shipping Committee of Indian Chambers of Commerce. I'm chairing a committee on the establishment of Indian International Maritime Dispute Resolution Center. So working with the government of India on the ports and shipping ports and waterways. So working there. A number of things. I mean, it's something that, yeah. I work closely with IMU.
Learning is another thing which has not stopped. It will keep going, sir. So what I request you through this podcast is, I won't say this is a podcast actually. This is just a normal Zoom call that I'll be recording because I won't be getting much of an opportunity. But sir, for Indian seafarers, or I would say seafarers across the world, they need to know about this finance, commercial shipping. There is so much there which even I do not know. Sir, I really request you with folded hands that we need to help these seafarers to know this. And whenever you get this opportunity to come to India, we need to sit together, make this series of podcasts on commercial shipping, talking very briefly about commercial shipping, about chartering, about shipbroking, the best colleges, how to do, why to do, what is Institute of Charters and Shipbrokers, how can they help, and a lot of questions which can come from my batchmates, from my seniors. I'll be getting those and we'll try to answer them and see if we can help the maritime industry in a better way, because maritime industry is just not about sailing, sir.
Maritime is not only about sailing, but sailing is a very important part.
Very important part.
Shipping is, because if our boys and girls were not there during COVID to help turn the wheels of the global economy, we would be all dead. Half the world would have died of hunger, and the other half would have died of cold. Yeah, so that's very important. But shipping is very important. Seafarers are very important. But I absolutely agree with you that what you are doing is good, and I will help you do it. Let me tell you one very small thing for a few seconds. We have just started an executive MBA. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, sir, I know about executive MBA, what executive MBA is. But if you have started where it is, I do not have any idea, sir.
Yeah, let me tell you. When I say we, means it is IIM Mumbai and the Company of Master Mariners India, CMMI. So IIMM, which is the Mumbai of the Indian Institute of Management, and the Company of Master Mariners, you know that. So EMBA first batch has already been taken. Here we are giving preference to the people who come from ship, who have done their second class exams or the chief engineer's exams, their certificate of competency. There will be a small test which they have to write, and then there's interview. And this is quite flexible, 2 years, but can be extended to 3 years if they want to go in between sailing for the money. And it is dirt cheap. They're 15 lakhs, 15 lakhs for this. And having a degree, and it's a degree, not a diploma. The other MBAs, if you see in IIMs, it is postgraduate diploma. This one is a degree in executive MBA, all right? And what we do here is, you'll be taught all the management subjects by the IIM faculty, top class faculty, and the maritime subjects will be taught by people like myself. So it's I'm one of the lead faculty there. Then we have 3 more faculties, so 4 of us, and each one of the lead faculty has got three adjunct faculty. So we got like fantastic number of industry professionals who will be teaching. So it's a good thing to bring together management skills and the maritime skills together.
And so what's the end game, if I may know? Like many of my juniors have done MBA from IIMs and then got into Amazon, or they're working in the shipping logistics or in logistics business. So if person, say second engineer, chief engineer, captain, chief officer goes through this MBA, what is the end game? Where can they find better jobs, better opportunities?
The entire maritime industry. This MBA is not for shipping only. It's ports, it's logistics, it's a very broad perspective. Then there are modules. The last module is about electives. So in electives, you can choose your 5 subjects, wherever you want to specialize in. Yeah. So what you can do, where you can do, once you learn that, nobody is going to guarantee you anything, which never is done. Like when I came into this world, when I opened my eyes first time, God never told me, okay, I brought you here in this Maya Jal, but I guarantee you'll be happy. No, it doesn't work like that. Yeah. All we can promise is that we are going to teach them well, ask them questions, make sure that they prepare for the exams and check their answers critically and help them grow. And later on, they need to, and help them, of course, put them for internships and also help them in the sourcing of jobs. But we don't guarantee. Nobody can guarantee.
No, it should not be. If Oxford does not do that, sir. Harvard does not do that. Out here, we need specifically understand that, sir. Oh, sir, and it's a great way of networking with people like you. If they can learn, they can network. Networking for me means building relations. I would put it this way. But if you're a teacher out there and you're meeting regularly and you build relation, it's a great thing to have. Sir, having said that, I'll know more details about this course, and maybe if I can in my small way promote this in a great way, why not, sir? I'll definitely do that. With this, all I can say,
Yeah,
sir.
do that. You on the LinkedIn, just type IIM Mumbai CMMI, and there are a lot of posts. You will enjoy reading about it.
Okay, sir.
All right. So pleasure talking to you, Praneeth.
Thank you, sir, for
And
giving me this opportunity. It has come after 2 years, sir. I do not know. I'm blessed. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
take
Thanks.
care, and
Thank
you
you.
have a
Very kind,
wonderful
sir.
week
Chair.
ahead.
Very
Bye-bye.
kind. Very kind.